Jim Ewell, but you might as well just call him Doc. Doc is trainer emeritus for the Houston Astros and has been their trainer for 36 years. But he's been in baseball more than 50.
In 1934, I was in the Yankee Farm Club in Norfolk, Virginia, and Lou Gehrig got hit in the head with a baseball, and I ran out onto the field in a bat boy's uniform, a pinstripe uniform. Lou Gehrig laying on the ground, and I took up a cold bucket of water to put cold towels on his head because their trainer was in the clubhouse. So it puts a little age on me, but actually that's experience as far as I'm concerned.
Experience is one thing Doc doesn't lack, having treated half the Hall of Fame. But as the eras and injuries have come and gone, so too have the remedies undergone a progressive transformation.
You'd get a hot pail of water out of the shower, take a towel, dip in it, wring it out. That was what we call a hydroculate packs do in those days, and modernization of training has got it a heck of a lot better, all machines and this and that nowadays. The average life, they used to say, was 4 years, and I see everybody getting that 20-year pension now.
A player's baseball life has improved with modern training, and no better example exists than Nolan Ryan. Doc's healing hands helped Ryan through the 80s, but he remembers best the night he eased the pitcher's pain with a premonition.
He kept complaining about a little stiffness here or there, and then when he got up off the table, he started walking for the door, and I says, you okay? He says, no, I don't think I can see first base. Came back, sat on the table, and began to go to work again, loosened his neck, stretched it out. I says, well, Nolan, I've never said this to a ball player in my 50 years in baseball. The way you are complaining about your stiff neck and all this stuff, you're going to throw so unorthodox out there that they're not going to know which way the ball is coming. And I says, I feel in my heart that you're going to pitch a no-hitter. And he says, I'll tell you what, if I do pitch a no-hitter, I'll kiss you.
2 balls and no strikes to Baker, and a ground ball to third. He has got it, Art. How? He got it. Nolan Ryan, no-hitter number 5.
Here's all the press and all the cameramen on the left. The training room is on the right. He walks in. He comes over to me, and I says, lay it right there.
It's inevitable with 50 years in baseball that Doc would have a brush or two with death. That nearly came to pass when J.R. Richard went down with a stroke, but Doc was quick to stabilize.
A lot of people say that I'm the guy that saved his life. He went down, collapsed from a stroke, and being trained in the profession in paramedics, we knew immediately, I thought, that that's what it is. So we had IV into his arm, EKG hooked up to him, oxygen. We're on the way to the hospital within 28 minutes, and they say that's probably saved his life.
More commonplace for Doc, the fingers on the fibers, a cramp, a hamstring, and what he does good.
I've had some back problems, lower back problems, and I'll have spasms, and I'll be bent over and crooked, and I wasn't real sure if I'd be able to play, and he'll get me on that table and rub the knots out and get me going, and he's put me on the field many times.
I've learned a lot from him because of that. I think our era has lost some of the things that the older guys did real well, particularly with their hands.
When the guy's got a problem, they got a kink or something that needs worked out, they go to Doc, and he gets in there. He'll hurt you a little bit because he's from that old school, getting in there and grinding, but he gets the job done.
When you got ball players out there you pay $1 million a year for, and how valuable they are, our job is to keep them out on the field. Like myself, they have even called me a body mechanic, and our job is to put them out on the field. You don't let a guy miss a turn, because once he misses a turn, it puts a cog in your whole operation.
Doc's unofficial job is keeping the clubhouse loose, which he does both with his own compositions and with apologies to his favorite, Willie Nelson.
Maybe I do all those lonely, lonely nights. I I don't like to put stress on ball players. I'm always singing in the clubhouse and singing around and joking and like little ditties such as, you gotta know how to bop 'em, you gotta know how to sock 'em, you gotta know what to do, you wanna last the season through. And, you know, different things like that. Yeah, ball players are funny people. You know, we're the only type of people that are locked up behind doors and restrictions that the Commissioner of Baseball puts on us. And going out here and not having your friends in the clubhouse, you can't have your family around it, you got guards on the doors, and so we really have to entertain ourselves. You were always on my mind.
And after 50 wonderful years in baseball, Doc has but one lament, one that Ernie Banks would understand.
The only regret I have is so far, and I hope someday it'll be able to happen, and that is to train my club in the World Series. You were always on my mind.
Great. On deck for next week, Lou Gehrig, and some stories we can guarantee you never heard before. Like the lonely game in Norfolk, Virginia that almost stopped his legendary streak far before its time.
The New York press had left from a previous exhibition game when the Yankees came in to play their farm club, which was Norfolk. And they probably missed the greatest story to unfold in the history of Lou Gehrig's life.
This is Warner Fusel.
Major League Baseball magazine is presented by new Wild and Mild ranch-flavored Frito brand corn chips.
ESPN presents Major League Baseball magazine. This week's cover story, the untold tales of Lou Gehrig, like the beanball in Norfolk that had him down for the count.
That would have broke the Iron Man streak.
We'll go back to 1968 when pitchers ruled the land and 30-something was the hit of the year.
You gonna win 30? And I said, yes. I said, I'm gonna do it.
And the cat in the hat is back as we zero in on an umpire who makes calls off the top of his head.
What does he want? Is he looking for a VCR film of himself this year or what?
This is Warner Fusel for Major League Baseball magazine, presented by Fritos.
Brought to you by new Wild and Mild ranch-flavored Frito brand corn chips. Rustle up some.
Last week, us Fritos rustlers came upon a whole new...
Today, I consider myself the luckiest man on the face of the earth.
We've all heard Lou Gehrig's farewell speech, July 4th, 50 years ago. But there's some Lou lore not so well known, like the beanball incident that almost cut his consecutive game streak some 700 games short.
In 1934, I was a bat boy for the Norfolk Tars in the Piedmont League in Class B baseball, and we were playing the New York Yankees an exhibition game, and Lou Gehrig was at bat, and I remember when Ray White was pitching, and he hit Lou Gehrig beside the head with a ball. Both of them went to Columbia University in New York, and there was said that there was a little something between them. I don't know whether this was true or not. You'll have to ask Ray White this.
There weren't that many guys that went to Columbia, played for the same coach, that he couldn't remember me from one spring to the next. Not that I expected him to, but he must have been, you know, low in mental capacity not to remember that he came up to the campus at Columbia and met some guy by the name of Ray White. I did not intentionally hit Gehrig in the head. That is almost an impossibility. It'd be difficult to do it with a rifle with a guy being able to move his head.
I don't think that Ray White would jeopardize his job in a Yankee farm system in hitting a fellow like Lou Gehrig.
He contributed to the incident by digging in almost ankle deep at the plate, and you could see that he definitely was going to try to hit the ball as far as he has ever hit one. And of course, I was just as adamantly set on seeing that he didn't do that.
The pitch that was thrown seemed to rise up. It came from the bottom and went right to the top, and Gehrig was slumped over the plate to attack the ball and hit the ball to right field.
Ball hit him right on the back corner, slightly above the ear level. And it was a glancing blow. It went on the fly off his head into the screen again, in front of the press box on top of the grandstand. And Joe McCarthy, of course, hadn't dressed that day, and you could hear him all over the park. He was in his civilian clothes in the grandstand. He came running down. He said, "My God, there goes the pennant."
I went up there after the man was hit because Lou Gehrig was laying on the ground. And in those days, we took cold buckets of water with ice in them and put cold towels on their head. And I went up and I put this, and I didn't know until the next day that Lou Gehrig was there on the ground, and it was Babe Ruth was over my shoulder. And if I would have known Babe Ruth had his hand on my shoulder, I would have probably went all to pieces in the thrill of my life.
I guess that was the first time that anything that ever happened in Norfolk other than World War II made the Japanese newspapers.
Lou never missed a beat and, in fact, picked up the tempo.
After I hit him in the head, he started on a hitting streak. He had been in a slump, and I always felt like I should have gotten a bonus for getting him straightened out.
It was difficult not to like Lou Gehrig. His innocence was real. His image, Norman Rockwell's America.
He didn't smoke. He didn't chew tobacco. He didn't drink. He was in bed by 10 o'clock every night. He was rather a bore to the ball club because he never did anything the ball club did, you know. He was a mama's boy, they used to call him. He should have been called Babe instead of my dad. Maybe. And because he was so naive about a lot of things, my father sort of kind of watched out for him. And that's how they became close.
The Lou Gehrig-Babe Ruth relationship was one of baseball's finest. But there were rumors it turned sour shortly after Ma Gehrig chastised Babe's second wife for showing partiality to her own child, Dorothy's stepsister, Julia.
Mrs. Gehrig was very protective of me. And I could do no wrong. And I think she loved me like I was her own. And when I went to visit her, I guess I didn't have enough clothes or good enough clothes. And she made the remark to one of the wives on the Yankee Club that Claire should dress me as well as she dresses Julia. And of course, that started the ball rolling. But down deep, I don't think my father and Lou ever stopped talking because they were too close. I think they were too close to let a woman come between them.
Nor did anything come between Gehrig and baseball. Lou played a record 2,130 consecutive games before just 8 games into the 1939 season, ALS, Lou Gehrig's disease, sat him down.
Just before the game started, Lou, being the captain of the ball club, walked down to the umpire Basel at home plate, and he handed him the lineup. And he came back to the bench, and he walked right past us to the drinking fountain, and he reached over to get a drink, and he stayed down a long time. And Johnny Murphy took one of the clean towels. Johnny Murphy was our relief pitcher, one of them, and he threw the towel, landed right on Lou's head. And he just stayed down, and finally he stood up and he was wiping the tears off his eyes. He cried, he broke down. So the seventh inning, I went to him and I said, Lou, you got to keep your streak going. And he just said, no, you're doing fine, babe. And the eighth inning, I went back to again, because he was sitting right in the outside corner of the bench, practically on the field. I said, Lou, you got to get in the ball game, keep that streak going, because I didn't know he was sick. And he said, no, you're doing fine. And in the ninth inning, I said, Lou, this is your last chance to get out there and keep the streak on. And he said, go on, get out there. And that was it, and the streak was broken.
And so it was, 50 years ago, that those who loved Lou Gehrig let him go.
My dad felt bad for Lou because of their closeness and their friendship. And it really bothered him to think he was going to lose him.
What I should think Lou would do, I don't know if the club is going to consider it or not, but my idea is to let Lou go up into the mountains. I saw a fishing rod here a minute ago. Let him go up there and see if he can catch every fish there is.
I might have been given a bad break, but I've got an awful lot to live for. Thank you.
Lou's death at age 37 was so hard to accept, blame was cast all the way to Norfolk.
A lot of people felt that by hitting him in the head was responsible for Gehrig developing the disease, which was unfortunate, but he didn't get the disease till 6 or 7 years afterwards, and the day he died, there were even some people that, well, 6 or 7 of them, who called me to ask if I wasn't sorry that I had killed him, you know, which is kind of ridiculous, but that's the way some folks are anyway. It's no secret that, I was never much impressed with Gehrig. I'm beginning to wonder what there is about this particular incident, which is insignificant to me, yet every year, 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, 20, and now here it is 55 years after the incident, and we are still discussing it.
Hey, don't get me wrong. I enjoy...
Nice job, Steve Palermo. Pop straight up. Don Slott has room. One up, one down.
I don't think I've seen that in 20 years. Slott turned around and threw his mask.
This is dangerous.
And Ken Kaiser caught it. Threw his mask right into 290-pound Ken Kaiser right into her stomach, and Kenny caught it.
Good hands, good hands.
It is dangerous, this umpire business.
And a stop letter, and generally they will execute them, no questions asked, and typically what it says is you will not foreclose without letting us know first, to give us a chance to cure your default. So that's basically what he's talking about, although theirs is even more, theirs being buddies is even more than the stop letter, in that it plainly says in there that if I don't pay you, they will. So you've got an obligation of the savings alone in addition to an obligation of myself. So it's, from your position, it's not a bad deal. Yeah.
René.
Okay.
¿Cómo estás? ¿Te llegó eso?
Oh, just working.
Ya, eso no llega.
Working, trying to keep your head above water, chasing deals, trying to make some money.
Si vas y le pides a Bobby ahí al lado.
Okay, when you want that?
Los letreros, estos no, lo van a poner con Florencia, ¿eh? Okay?
I haven't been dodging you about it. If that's what you think.
Para allá.
Well, that's probably true. We'll get together and have a long talk one day. Let me find my calendar. But I haven't been down yet. Asshole. He's waiting, son of a bitch. Well, if he hadn't fucked me around so bad, that's a long story I'll tell you about, too. It's a long story I'll tell you about. He's in a major way in my pocket. What did I do with my fucking calendar? He owes me $600,000. He can't pay me. I didn't tell you that. Hang on. I see it's on Charlotte's desk. Hang on. How you doing? Jay, how are you? Everything going all right, James? Sure. Okay, I'm sorry. He may very well break my ass. Literally. How about tomorrow? Pat?